Hi guys, we're almost at the end of the month. That means the article is ready for the release. We have just made the what is new, and we always make a video how to update, how to stay rolling, because there's something specific on Arch, and of course all the Arch based systems afterwards. That is, if we there is no release every 6 months, as simple as that. It is a rolling release. That means the only thing you always do is update, remove some things, install some things, but basically you never do a clean install, right? It is recommended for sure, because doing a clean install will erase all the things you've broken, right? We start again from scratch. The old configs from applications that you're never going to use again are in the .config, are in the .local, etc. So there is a lot of, how do you say it, junk that's in those folders. So a clean install is really interesting for Mac, for Windows, for Linux, for Android, right? It is interesting, but it's not intended. I mean, if you have the knowledge, then you can maintain it and clean it and secure it and whatever, right? Make it faster, drivers, etc. So what we'll do now in this video is go back in time. This is go back in time because it's offline. So I'll have an ISO. Take a look. You'll have an ISO that is built on January the 14th. So that's not that long ago, because we've built an extra, right? So 2614 feels like that's no challenge at all. So shut down. We have got another one, which is an older one. We have this one. Let's see, choose a disk file. We have one level up, the one from here. We want to see issues actually. Why? Because the only thing to learn is actually to have issues, right? You know that from other operating systems, when you see this pop up and say, what's this, right? And then you investigate, and it's when there are mistakes that you learn, because you need to solve something. So let's see if we can make this an educational video. That's always the point. There are like 130 videos or something like that. How to stay rolling, basically. How to ensure, how to overcome anything that Arch throws at us. ArcoLinux is 90% ArcoLinux, 5% stuff from the AUR, Arch User Repository, and 5% is from ArcoLinux, right? So basically, we're Arch with configs. So we do not have control over 90% of it. Not even the 5% of the AUR, because it's somebody else, right? AUR means any user in the world that makes a package build, and a package build is a recipe how to build a package. So this is an older ISO. It has been Christmas, right? New Year. Let's see when I build it. We'll do you later on. Take a look. So much better. December the 19th, so more or less mid-month, we start building ISOs. We got a week of testing for us, a week of testing for you, and then we release more or less 31, 31, 2, well, never 1, 2, but right. The idea is the beginning of the month having new ISO online. So this is a bigger jump. That's the date today. So a month and a week, something like that. So if we do this, it means we're going to travel back in time. If you do that, then you're going to update. You're going to bring updates in. So if I want to teach you how to go for how to stay rolling, how to overcome issues, we need to phase out the issues. And that's what we're going to do, right? This is always going to work. It's an offline installation. Doesn't matter if your internet is intermittent or bad or slow, whatever. It's not gonna be important, because this is offline and there's nothing he needs to get from the internet. And that's how many distros do it, because it's safe, right? It is safe. It is the safest way to give people a distribution. This is the dangerous way, because it starts in your computer. Your NIC is broken. The cable is unplugged. The cable is bad. It goes to a switch. The switch is bad. The switch goes to a router. The router is not set properly. The internet service provider did not provide you an IP on your router. You're done. You don't have internet anymore, and so on. It goes on to so many problems and firewalls that countries put, and even buildings have firewalls. I've heard a lot of stuff, right? Advanced installation. If it doesn't work, use the offline installation. Here is also a little bit of information that you should remember. It's there, right? It's there. This is a summary. What we're doing now is ArcoNet easy. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. Okay, it's very minimal. Don't have a lot. Not even VLC. I'm missing my VLC. We talk to each other here. Discord is all about helping you for assistance. Telegram is chit chat. So anything Linux, of course, related, often ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux. And Firefox here. And graphics, there's no GIMP, there is no Inkscape, there is just the default from XFCE. Sublime Text is something we'd like, an editor to find something, to read something. So some of the things, and of course the Arch stuff, our tools, our apps. And this goes away later on, install, and there we are. So what you see is what you get. You get XFCE4, and there are all the apps that are here, Firefox, etc. If you go for advanced, then you need to have internet. XFCE4 will be removed, which is actually good. Then you end up with an SDDM and nothing behind it. Then you go to TTY and you just type your scripts or type your commands, and voila. But the easiest way to do is just select your desktop. But if you forget, right, then you end up with something, well, with a beautiful system without the desktop. The apps are still there. We're not going to remove anything, but you can select more. In the advanced, it's really a long list of stuff that you can select more. So that's the most important thing, knowing that ArcoNet Advanced XFCE4 is going to be removed, right? Which is a good thing. Trust me. Watch a few videos and then you see that actually that's not a bad idea. And then you have basically a graphical user interface to get Arch on there with SDDM and the desktop and the packages. You make your scripts like I make my scripts, ArcoLinux Nemesis. If you haven't never heard about it, then let me show you. We teach you Linux. We happen to be on Arch Linux, and we made a variant and we call it ArcoLinux, right? Scripts and stuff, icons, etc. My name is Eric Dubois, and voila, remember that and have a look around what I have always 196, but this one is the most important one, ArcoLinux Nemesis. So I run this one 0 and it will link to all the others, and that's how I stay in control on any Arch Linux system and on any Debian system, on any OpenSUSE or RPM system, and the special guys, NixOS and all that, right? It's all in here. One thing, one project to rule them all, right? One ring, remember? Hint, hint. Pun intended. So yeah, make something similar. Doesn't have to be this big, right? But start by steadily a script, 2 scripts, and then after 10-15 years you end up with that. So we are unpacking. Toggle, nothing to see, right? It's just gonna go and all up here. rsync things, basically a folder here, a folder there, and a file there, a file there. It's just move from A to B, and that's all he is doing. And the end result is gonna go. I always teach more than the title of the video. So we have here the calamares root. This is your future system. It's doing the work from A to B. This is the B side, right? This is the one that matters. This is the one that's gonna go on your hardware. Let's pause the video a little bit and let's update. And that's how we test how to stay rolling. Will there be conflicts, etc., etc. Pausing. We're almost at the end. Let's restart. So, choice for grub, it's always, whatever you do, it's always a choice in life. Certainly when you start building distros, it's from beginning till end a choice. So thank you, but no thank you. Software RAM, AGT, update ArcoLinux, screen resolution, which is okay. So let's make it another educational video. Take a look at the aliases. There are aliases in here that is super interesting. Okay, super shift enter. I can type something called scal. Read the video. Read the video is difficult. Watch the video, but read the article that's here. If we do this, he created this. That means only the etc scal folder has a copy. This is the etc scal folder. Okay. When we update, the packages will go all over the place, but also in the etc scal. So if you are on a tiny window manager, many of the configs are there, right? So if we update our system, we get packages in, but these are the questions that people have. Huh? What should I do? What should I do? So yes is capital, meaning you can press enter, it's going to be replaced. And here's the issue that we've shared on our Discord and Telegram. But remember, Telegram, chit chat. Discord, that's where we certainly are going to put it. This case is just a yes, right? Small yes. And a yes again. I can't press enter because then it's the capital N, then we're going to say no, right? We need to type yes. And then that's it, right? That was a hurdle that we saw come up because of the update of a package. And pacman, well, he will take the default. He will take the N capital. So if you're going to go in an advanced installation, it's not calamares that's going to crash. It's pacman that's going to crash because he's going to say no. And then all the updates will stop. And then of course, pacman gets an error and calamares sees that and it says, I'm going to stop, right? Advanced doesn't work anymore. So that's why you need to go to easy when that happens, because there's so many things that can go wrong with thousands of packages that we have, keys that are a problem, servers that are a problem. I mean, there's a long list of things that can go wrong, right? That's why easy is preferred on all the other Linux distros, because they don't have users telling, hey, something's going wrong. There's no internet connection. So less issues. That's something inherent of going for a online installation. Looking good, right? I will say that there was a new ArcoLinux keyring. There's one package you need to know by heart. ArcoLinux keyring. That's something you need to remember. Let's make this bigger so you actually can read it on a very small screen on a mobile phone or something, right? This is important. If you get problems with keys, and he will say it, then in the end, at the bottom he will say, I have a problem with key from this guy and that guy, and it goes wrong. You can't install. That's the first thing. And he will download the packages then with the correct signature, because we're checking a package against the signature. Who created the package? Check. Oh, the signature is wrong, and then it can't be installed, right? Kind of safety, security kind of thing. So this thing matters. ArcoLinux keyring. All right. All the info, if you still need more to know more, ArchWiki, right? Now, I do see all these things. It might be interesting to tell you that as well. That the first thing I do, my machines, I provide an ISO for, well, basically the world, right? Any PC out there. But thing is, I need to remove stuff. I don't need the Broadcom Realtek. I don't have that hardware. So he's working, this is Realtek, and that's Broadcom. They're there to support your hardware. Common drivers for the internet. So sure, but I don't need them. Afterwards, first thing I'll do is remove it. So there are remove things. If you say I hate variety, why is he using variety? Remove variety. There's even a remove XFCE4. If you say I have ArcoNet, easy installation, voila, but the apps are okay, but the desktop I would like to have TK. All right, you go to the ATT and you install TK and you remove XFCE4 later, for example. All ideas, anything is possible. This is Linux. Conkeys will go for me as well, and I'll just keep one Linux kernel, and most of the time the default Linux kernel has served me well for 10 years or so, right? But it depends of hardware. So maybe your machine is better with an LTS kernel or the CachyOS kernel or the Linux Zen kernel and the like 20 other kernels in the world. So choose, test, play around, but do that in the beginning. Kernels, if you switch kernels in the beginning, right? If something fails, then you did not spend hours and hours of work installing stuff, because kernel, yeah, it matters that it's correct. Then we reboot, although we can do a scal first. Watch what happens to the left. Yes, please. So now I have a copy, beginning, before the update, after the update. And now we reboot. And then we continue investigating. That's something that happened. We did not want it. We did not ask for it, but it happened. You can keep it, right? I've told in the video that you can keep it. It's no problem. But, right, it's not what we wanted. We did not decide it. We did not choose it. That's the thing, eh? So this one is before, that one is after. Let's compare this thing. Compare. And we see the differences. Now, we used to get the remark that ArcoLinux was bloated, so we cleaned it out. And that's all we still have. We have our own Arch stuff, of course, ArcoLinux stuff, or ArcoLinux conkeys and all that. But we have one editor. There is nothing graphical really, just Nomax extra maybe. But missing GIMP, missing Inkscape, many things. Missing Vivaldi, Chromium. We talk to each other like this. There's no VLC. Office, nothing Office. So it is really not bloated at all, which means this won't work, right? Compare doesn't work, GitHub doesn't work, all these things, you need to install it. That was an easy way. F12. Remember the word development. In developments it is Velo. And Velo gets Sublime Text already there, but here it is, it gets Melt. And that's what we need. So if I'm developing things, that's the apps that I want, because otherwise, how can I work? So this is the compare thing. I don't want to see what's the same. Why would I want to see what's the same? I want to see what's different. So these things are different. These are just some settings. That's not important. We've not done that. ArcoLinux welcome app, we've removed it. So settings.conf, no. Basically, nothing to see here, right? We have not changed anything in this, let's say, a month of time in specifically etc. That's of course not true, but for XFC it's true. But there are 30 other desktops, right? So sometimes i3, Hyperlink, etc. We change things and then you see it immediately here. So we're good. What we've done as well, we should check that. The N, this one works because of the skull. Bash in this case recognizes this alias, and I'm going to this file which is not existing. The folder does not exist, the file does not exist, but that's something to do. To empty, when I install the application empty, which is a login manager, and I go again to this particular alias, then we see something, right? Then we can change configurations. Control X. Basically, that's the what we explained or shown in the What is New video of February 2025. So it's working if you do a scal. Right, that's important. The scal thing is putting things from A to B, from etc to your home directory, but it might mess things up. But there's a backup. So if it messes things up, this is the new update. This is what you have. This will never be used. The system will not look at that. It will look at that. So if there is a configuration in here, you've been working on it, you use melt, you use compare, and you put things back. So I lost this particular file, I want it back. Copy to the left. That's a copy, and here is the difference. We've added to empty. You see? So the information, you see immediately some of the things that we've changed. So there are changes, but just very minor. I'm looking at the code. It's okay. Huh? No. So there you are. So stay rolling. The only problem was the yes that needed to be pressed for the probe there, hardware probe. One of the things that is super interesting, we always ask at the forum, on Telegram, on Discord, you come with a problem, give us this. Type probe, wait for it. So don't come to us by telling big bang noise, broken. No, give us information, give us this link, sorry. It's a probe from VM, so this its lifetime is limited, but right, give us a link, this one, right? That's the one we need, and then we can see it's an NVIDIA card or it's an AMD card, and the package is with. There's a lot of information that we can find in here, and that's well, we need it to be able to help you. Well, basically to help you help yourself. Right? We don't do consultancy. We don't keep hold your hand from beginning till end. We tell you there is an ArchWiki, right? There is an ArchWiki. Have a look at the sound. Problem with the sound. Okay. Then you go to the sound system, and then you start reading, like I've done years ago. There's Pipewire, there's Pulse Audio. Which one will you read? Which one will you choose again, right? And then you follow the possibilities. So, ArchWiki is an incredible source of knowledge, plus all the ArcoLinux videos, 4,400 videos and counting. Let's reboot this system, because we've done something. Did we not change? This I want to help as well, right? How to fix that. That's one thing, and let's go to empty and then call it a day. So there's no, oh, there he is. Look at that. There he is. So I thought I did it. So login and password, and then you need to choose. The Wayland session is experimental. They're working at it, and we'll be working on it for the coming years, I suppose, right? So use the normal XFC session. And what I was going to do is the mem test. So sudo pacman minus s, sorry, minus r, sorry. Let's make this bigger. This is always difficult, has been notably difficult. Is anybody from XFC sees this, please fix it, because it really is pixel wise very important. So do it up here because it's very much easier. Don't know what that is, because the last 10 years we're like that, and it stays like that. So up there, minus r mem test needs to go, and mem test EFI needs to go. Right, we're removing the line in the beginning of our grub. If you remove that, that's gonna go, and then we need to update grub. We've made a little alias update grub. It's a longer thing that I always forget, and that's why aliases are there. Alias update grub. Right? It's too long to type, and when I see it, I know it, but out of my mind, no. So update grub is cool. Mem test is gone. If you have grub, of course, we have now something else, reboot. But I'm gonna double check because I found this strange. Why is this still there? Why is this still there? Huh. It is there because it's a display manager, right? Has nothing to do with grub. Grub, it's not a booting system, right? Empty is a display manager, a login manager. So grub stays. Eric. Voila. 0, enter. And off we go. It looks like it's a TTY, but it's not. It's a display manager. So there we go. There is nothing for us to do in this folder, in the bin folder. Stay rolling, 2025. This one, how to move from 01 to 02. Nothing to do. What is this folder? This is making it easy, and some reference point. Is there a change between this ISO and that ISO? We try to mimic a clean install, basically making sure that decisions we've made, the choices we've made on the ISOs are also reflected on the stay rolling PCs out there. That's the only thing. Let's look for an example. So sometimes we make choices, and the choices are going in a script, stay rolling version 1, and then you navigate through it, or you ask ChatGPT, what will this do? It will remove Quantum Qt5, and it will install Quantum Qt5. So the Git goes out and the normal one comes in, and that's what we decided on the ISO. So now it's also on the PC, but it's up to you to run this, right? If it might be equally good for you on the Git version, but we follow the ISO. That's the idea, that you don't need to reinstall all the time like we do with Linux Mint or Ubuntu every 6 months clean install. But today, these days, right, there's also a tool in there, update, and tested it out. It just works flawlessly. So they're equally staying rolling, but it's just another release schedule, 6 months, and here it's every month we release it and have fun building ISOs. All right, I think I've said everything now. So how to stay rolling, this is how it's done. Cheers.